Hello students, welcome to the first lecture of subject Fluid Mechanics and Hydraulic Machines, semester 4. In our today's video, we will start our first chapter, which is Fluids and their properties. So let us begin with our chapter. Now what is fluid? So fluid is a substance that is capable of flowing. It has no definite shape of its own. It assumes the shape of its container. So, the substance which can flow is known as fluid. Both liquids and gases are fluids. Examples of fluids are water, milk, kerosene, petrol, emulsions, etc. So, these are the few examples of fluid. The main property, if it is kept under stress or if the pressure is applied on it, it flows continuously. Next, let us understand the types of fluids. So there are fluids can be classified into 5 basic types. They are ideal fluid, real fluid, pseudoplastic fluid, Newtonian fluid, and non-Newtonian fluid. Now let us understand ideal fluid. So ideal fluid generally, if the fluid has no viscosity, then it is known as ideal fluid. It is incompressible in nature. Practically, no ideal fluid exists. So let us see the figure. There are two fluids. The fluid which flows through a which is having a viscosity, which is our figure B, and a fluid which has no viscosity, that means our which is shown in figure A. So we can easily understand. Here you can see that there is no layer by layer flow, but there is always a movement between different layers of fluid particles. From figure we can also understand that viscosity is higher at center. Velocity is higher at center. Next fluid is real fluid. So real fluids are compressible in nature and they possesses viscosity. Real fluid, these implies is friction effects. Examples of real fluids are kerosene, petrol, castor oil. So these are few examples. Flow diagram of two different fluids can easily be understood by figure. There is velocity. The figure shows velocity distribution of fluid through pipes. In ideal fluid, you can understand that there is no friction, but in real fluid, you can find out that at wall there is a friction and velocity becomes zero. Next fluid is pseudoplastic fluid. So a fluid which has apparent velocity or consistency decreases instantaneously with increase in shear stress is known as pseudoplastic fluid. Example of these fluids are quicksand, ketchup, etc. So these are few examples of pseudoplastic fluid. The next fluid is Newtonian fluid. So if fluid obeys Newton's law of viscosity, that means stress is directly proportional to your that means viscosity is dependent upon the temperature and pressure of fluid, and your stress is directly proportional to shear strain rate. Examples of Newtonian fluids are water, air, emulsions. Figure shows the different types of emulsions. Next is non-Newtonian fluid. So those fluids that do not obey the Newton's law of viscosity are non-Newtonian fluids. Examples of these fluids are flubber, oblak, which is a suspension of starch in water, your pastes, gels, and polymer solutions. So these are non-Newtonian fluids. Let us move on to another slide. Properties of fluids. Properties of fluids determines how the fluids can be used in engineering and technology. They also determine the behavior of fluids in fluid mechanics. These properties are density, viscosity, surface tension, capillary action, specific weight, and specific gravity. Now let us understand density. So density is the ratio of mass to unit volume. In other words, the ratio between the mass and a volume is known as density of a fluid. It is denoted by rho and its unit is kilogram per meter cube. Mathematically, it is expressed rho is equal to mass divided by volume and its unit becomes, for mass we having unit kg and for volume we are having unit meter cube, so it is kg per meter cube. Figure shows the density difference between the two different substances. It is highly dense and it is less dense. Next property is viscosity. Viscosity is the fluid property that determines the amount of resistance of the fluid to shear stress. It is the property of the fluid due to which the fluid offers resistance to flow of one layer of the fluid over another adjacent layer of fluid. Figure shows the different viscosities of different fluids. Again, viscosity can be termed in two different categories, dynamic viscosity and kinematic viscosity. So what is dynamic viscosity? So the dynamic or shear viscosity of a fluid expresses its resistance to shearing flows where adjacent layer moves parallel to each other with different speeds. So from figure we can understand the difference between the two fluid layers. Let us assume A is the area of each layer, H becomes the vertical distance between their center lines, and F is the internal shear stress. So the top layer is acted upon by force F to, just because of it, force, the top layer will move with different velocity relative to the bottom layer, which can be expressed tau is proportional to mu du by dy. Tau is proportional to du by dy, that means shear strength, and F is equal to mu into area into u by y, where mu is denoted by dynamic viscosity. Next is kinematic viscosity or diffusive viscosity, momentum diffusivity. It is the ratio of dynamic viscosity to the density of substance or fluid. So your nu, which is denoted by nu and expressed or unit in terms of meters square per second. So nu is equal to mu upon rho. Next is surface tension. The property of a fluids to resist tensile stress on their surface is called as surface tension. Figure shows surface tension. Here we can understand that each molecule applies or attracts another molecules. So this is denoted by surface tension. Here we can understand in a cylindrical manner this force is equals to torque into 2 pi r area. This torque or surface tension acts at both sides of wall. Next is capillary action. Capillary action is the property of a fluid to flow in a narrow spaces without assistance of and in opposition to external force like gravity. The effect can be seen in the drawing up of liquids between the hairs of paintbrush in a thin tube in a porous material such as paper and plaster, and in some non-porous materials such as sand or in a cell. It occurs because of the intermolecular forces between the liquid and surrounding of solid surfaces. Capillary action can be capillary rise and capillary fall. It is just because of two different forces, adhesive force and cohesion force. So in adhesion force, as we can see it from in case of water, so the molecules of water attracted towards the surface of capillary tube and stick to the wall of capillary tube. While in case of mercury, as we dip capillary tube inside it, the result is different. There is fall or depression in capillary action, right? So thank you for watching.